We're back with some more Trapped in a Video Game. Chapter 9. Bye-bye. Eric, or whatever that thing was in front of me, Eric raised its right hand with 5 spindly fingers and started waving bye-bye. I was so confused that I barely noticed him aiming his blaster directly between my eyes. Then, just before he pulled the trigger, he got distracted and I followed his gaze. Next to me, in the shiny metallic surface of the wall, I could make out the reflection of a hand sticking out of the box, waving wildly. Mr. Gasmask adjusted his aim from me to the reflection and shot a red laser. Zing! As he shot, Eric jumped out of the box and ran at me. Gasmask shot at Eric. Or at least he tried to shoot Eric. Instead, he shot Eric's reflection. Zing! I wheezed as the real Eric hit me in the ribs and tackled me behind a box. The thing pointed its blaster at us. Zing! Eric blasted the window next to us. From the ground, I could feel the first rumblings of a rocket taking off. I looked at the shattered window to see that we were moving. Come on, Eric grunted as he jumped out of the window. Before I could argue that this would be a lot better with jetpacks, the alien rolled left to a clean shot at me. I took a deep breath, ran, and jumped. Zing! The good news is that the alien missed. The bad news is that I found myself plummeting to my death. Again, the statue of Ridley rocketed past me, and I heard the screams of 1,000 aliens discovering that they were getting a free ride to the moon. Then, just before everything disappeared in a flash of light, I saw a speck wearing a jetpack fly from the Statue of Liberty's crown. Wait, was that another one of your schemes? Where you don't tell me half the plan? I yelled as we appeared in the water of Liberty Island. Eric shook his head as he was treating water. I don't know what that was. When I got to the top of the statue, I heard something behind me. I thought it was you not following instructions, so I hit a box to scare you. Instead, it was some weird alien wearing a gas mask. Wait, you've never seen the alien in this game before? Never. That's creepy. Yeah, super creepy. Anyways, it started poking around the room like it was looking for me, so I stayed hidden. Then when it couldn't find me, I strapped on the jetpack and waited for you. I figured our plan would work just as well without jetpacks, so I decided to stay hidden and warn you to jump out of the window when you showed up. Wait, waving wildly from a box was supposed to be your way of telling me to jump out the window? Of course. Wasn't it obvious? Okay, after I'm finished.
There you go. Good job. Well,
I squinted at him. I'm sorry if I don't know the hand signal for jump out of the Statue of Liberty. Well, everything worked out just fine, didn't it? Whatever. Can we just get through this before any more creepy surprise aliens pop up? Definitely. We swam toward the shore of the Liberty Island as fast as possible. Because we are not the world's best athletes to begin with, and because we have blasters strapped to our arms, it was probably the slowest, splashiest, most pathetic swim the world has ever seen. When we finally reached the shore, we shook ourselves off and walked toward the glowing portals that had appeared in place of the Statue of Liberty. Eric walked through the level floor portal first. Whoosh! Then I walked through. Whoosh! Then, as I was falling through the blackness, I could have sworn I heard the faint sound of a third person entering the portal. Whoosh! Chapter 10. Captain Eric. I'm driving! Driving what? I asked as I looked around to figure out where he had landed this time. Oh great, a swamp. A thick, smelly swamp. I picked up my right foot. Smoke. The doors. I was standing in 6 inches of muck. Which meant I'd be walking in wet socks all day. I can handle snow. I can be walking in wet socks all day. I can handle snow. I can handle volcanoes. I can even handle house-sized sand monsters. I cannot handle wet socks. I'm driving. I called it. Eric did not have wet socks because he did not get teleported into the swamp. Instead, he ended up on a futury-looking tank 10 feet away. And he was calling it at the top of his lungs. No way! That thing's gonna get stuck in 2 seconds. Not this tank, Eric yelled. He disappeared. He disappeared into the machine, and 5 seconds later, it lowered to life. The tank lifted a foot off the ground thanks to 4 small rockets on the bottom. Eric popped his head back up. Is this cool or what? Hey, I want to drive that! Maybe you should have thought about that before I called it. You can shoot the canyon, though. That's pretty cool. I folded my arms across my chest. Oh, really? Just then, Eric's eyes got huge. He grabbed the canyon, swiveled it around, and blasted something right behind me. I turned around just in time to see a 20-foot crocodile alien that had been jumped out of the swamp disappear in a flash of light. I had to admit, it was pretty cool. You're going to jump off or are you going to get eaten? I rolled my eyes, sloshed over the tank, and climbed up. That's the spirit, Eric said with a salute. Now that you've boarded my vessel, I expect you to refer to me only as Captain Eric. Your vessel? I'd rather take chances with the crocodiles. That's no way to talk to your superior. First, mate Jesse. I turned the canyon around and blasted Eric. He vaporized and reappeared in the driver's seat. Eric nodded. Point taken. He flicked a couple of switches and grabbed the steering wheel. Let's see what this thing can do. What it did was accelerate from 0 to 100 miles in a quarter of a second. Ah! I said as my right arm, which had been operating the canyon, nearly got ripped from its socket. I flew backward into the muck with a giant splat. Now, in addition to wet socks, I'd also be spending the day in wet underwear. I climbed back on and pointed the cannon at Eric. Watch it, Captain! He accelerated slower this time, but couldn't resist doing a donut once he found a clearing that wasn't big enough. Then we took off through the level. After 5 frustrating minutes of trying to aim at the aliens while Eric swerved back and forth, I realized that we don't let 12-year-olds drive cars. And why they certainly don't let 11-year-olds drive tanks. Would you drive straight for 1 second? I'm working on it. Crunch. And stop hitting the trees. I can either drive straight or avoid trees, but I can't do both. I sighed as yet another crocodile jumped out of the swamp and ate us whole. We reappeared at the beginning of the level for the 4th time. Get out, I said. No way, I can't get out. Eric cuffed and swapped spots with me. I smiled. Now that I'm driving, I expect you to refer me as Captain Jesse. He blasted me. After I had reappeared, we set off. I was actually not much better at driving him than Eric, but because he was so much better than me at shooting, we made it through the level in no time. Eric cheered every time he zapped an alien, and I whooped every time. I got to use a fallen log as a ramp. I was having a blast. A full blast. If driving a car was even a little bit like driving a tank, adults should be way happier on the highway than they seem. The trees overhead got thicker and thicker until we ended up in an enclosed swamp that was almost pitch black. What now? I asked. This is the boss, Eric said. Are we supposed to be able to see him? It's a crocodile with glowing eyes that light up every time when he emerges from the swamp. Terrific. We waited in silence for a full minute. Nothing. Hey, Eric. What? Cool boss. He should have been up here by now. He always shows up right away. Well, maybe we need to get, like, a key or something? Eric looked at me with a scorn. A key? What could a key possibly do to help us find a crocodile in the middle of a swamp? That doesn't even make sense. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that this game turns into a Statue of Liberty into a rocket ship is supposed to make sense. Whatever. I guess we could see there's something we missed. I turned the tank and slowly started driving back toward the dark swampland. That's when we heard it. A hissing noise up ahead. Is that something? I asked. I don't know what it is. Shh, listen. It sounded like almost a hissing voice. Actually, multiple hissing voices. Yes, see? I turned the air. Is that what they're saying? My stomach did a somersault. Captain Eric Jesse. They were saying our names. Find out what happens next in the next video. Bye-bye.